Welcome to Everything Rodeo, where we separate champions from the rest of the crowd.
We'll take you down the trail of someone's life, a long-haul tour rodeo, and our everyday adventures.
So brace yourself,
Because it's fixing to be a wild ride.
we're your hosts,
Mace Renfrey.
and Cody Stanley. Welcome to the Everything Rodeo Podcast, episode 15.
We head on down to Hico, Texas to Cody Ohl's Horse Factory and Gold Buckle Arena.
Yeah, when we was down there, we had a few technical difficulties with the sound, so please bear with us when you listen to this podcast.
Hope you enjoy.
Welcome to Everything Rodeo, and we want to thank Cody Ohl for being on today. We came down to his place in Hico, Texas last night, or yesterday morning for the match open and benefit for Caleb Berquist, and we just want to thank him for letting us come down and letting us come into his house.
It was a great day. You guys were first class, when you guys reached out to me, I was like, this is going to be a big day, and for sure wanted it televised, live streamed as good as we could, and you killed it, and just getting tons of messages back, and for y'all's guys' footage, and, all the stuff that y'all were able to catch.
Right. Yeah, I think one thing too is just the opportunity that you had to do it all for Caleb. We got messages that were like, hey, we weren't able to make it down there, but we appreciate being able to watch it, live. So we had a couple people message us to say just thanks for showing up to broadcast. So it was cool to be a part of the whole deal. I mean, there's not much we could do, and we didn't know Caleb personally, but through the experience, I feel like we kind of got to know him. And just yesterday was an emotional day. Like even the day that y'all was practicing, like being able to watch you step off after, I've only seen you on TV or at the NFR or whatever, but seeing you step off for the first time, especially like what you've been through, that was a cool experience for me. And it was like, I kind of got emotional, but it was cool to be like in the arena and see you do that. So.
Yeah, it was really emotional for me yesterday, even like before the very first calf, Blake, my son, he's going to help me. He's been there since day one, his life. So, it was hard for me to really even get going. Like, I came to the house before, while the 19 and under is going on out there, and just my motor was running, my emotions were running high, so I stayed in here a little longer than I really wanted to, but it was good for me to get, dial back in, and think about my job that I was fixing to have to do, not just, go wide open and just not have a plan, and so, people don't understand, like I would just pray to God that, that I'd be able to put my own shoes or my own boots on again one day, to be able to actually run a calf, I'm training horses every day, but there's a big difference, the ones that I trust with my whole heart, like I'll step off of them and tie one down, but we're to stand still when I get off, so the day before the match is the first time in 5 years that I've actually made a run on a horse, so there was, when I dreamed all this up, there was only one person for the job, regardless if I was 20 on every calf or 30 on every calf, there's 2 or 3 right now just on everybody's heart that's struggling, with back issues, vertebrae issues, and it's my story, and I post it frequently because I'm proud of it, I'm proud to know what God can do for people in their lives, and I'm proud of Him giving me the ability to showcase that, and like I told him, when I was hunting these sponsors, man, the stage is set here, bro. I mean, like, I'm a walking miracle. I mean, you want on board, you want to be a part of this or not, I'm blunt about it, either you want in or I'm not going to beg you to be on board, this is for the greatest cause ever, this is not for Cody. This is Cody's story for other people, and so, I did get a little emotional this week on some messages back to people that, rocked on 3 or 4 days and never even messaged me back, like, hey, I'm gonna be a little sour in this text message, you're a big corporation. I mean, I don't care. $100 bill would be better than not responding,
Yeah.
But, it's, you see it. I mean, every sponsor on that fence out there, that's just not weekend sponsors, like I don't have a backyard Sunday roping, I pay for sound, I pay for, a great flagger, a great barrier judge, it's a production. Yeah, I have them on Sunday afternoons like most people do, just for, but I do it to train the champions of tomorrow. I go to all these ropings, and it doesn't teach our kids anything about horsemanship, so I try to set my arenas up for preparing them for when they decide to go pro rodeo or, pro breakaway, whatever it is to set the biggest stage here that I can on a Sunday or Saturday, just whatever falls in perfect timing for everybody. But like I said, the stage was set, man, and just, what a great cause. Caleb's, he's fighting to go through my story with his own story. He hopes that's him one day doing what I'm doing today, and so I was just blessed to be able to do it. And you seen what the turnout was. It was unreal. The people that actually just showed up that really couldn't believe that I was going to be able to pull this off.
Right.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. Like Friday, you was talking about how you preparing champions and stuff. And our slogan is separate champions from the rest of the crowd. And on Friday, you and Cass was practicing, and even though he's your competitor for Saturday, you was sitting there and giving him some tips. Hey, you need to reach more when you're going to your calf and stuff. I just thought that was really cool of you to, help out your competition.
Sure. I mean, just think about what the young man's done.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm a fan for life.
Yeah.
Like, he don't have to text me. He don't have to call me. He can just drive into this driveway, put his horses up. That's the end of the subject.
Yeah.
I made that little announcement yesterday. Like, he is the only person that stepped up to this cause.
Yeah.
The only one. I mean, the biggest stage that you can be on,
Mm-hmm.
and with you guys promoting it, and everything we do here is pretty much first class. But he stepped up first class. You know what I mean? Like, I'm talking about anybody in the world was called out on this, and he is the only person that stepped up.
And then he went above and beyond what you called him out to do. You just said bring $5,000. That way we could put, and you was going to match the $5,000. So
Yeah,
we could give
and that's all I did. And then he messaged me a week later, and I'm having to hustle my own sponsorships to put the actual roping on top of what I'm donating for the match and stuff. So, and then he comes out yesterday, when we're doing all this, and he says, hey, I actually have $17,000, and Pendleton Roundup stepped up big. They brought in 5,000 of their own, and that's so huge. I mean, so huge. And, as huge as the stage is, and the people that did step up, it hurts the ones that how much bigger this could have been.
Sure.
There's so many people that could give that 5,000. There is so many people, and it took a small group to become a Sunday afternoon roping with at least 26, 27,000
Right.
Yes,
to
sir.
go to Caleb.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's one thing I think that I've noticed especially is just, you don't personally know Caleb. You probably heard about his situation, but you've been through that same thing where you couldn't even walk. You know what I mean? And he's sitting there laid up, and you were like, man. And there was a benefit for you as well, right?
Sure, and my deal, I didn't have a huge benefit roping. Like, it wasn't that big. Wasn't.
Yeah.
But the people, when they set my GoFundMe account up, it was crazy because I'm laying there, and I'm hooked up to every machine in the world, and like, when all this is going, that only thing I have in life is actually my phone, and trusting nurses and doctors with my life, because at the time, I couldn't have a whole lot of visitors, they're coming in with bags wrapped around them and face shields, and I was toxic, and so the only thing I had in life was my phone, and so being able to see, like a lot of them are anonymous, but a lot of them aren't as well, so I can see who's helping me. I can see who's feeding my kids
Right.
when I'm not home. I can see who's paying my bills when I'm not home. I'm fighting for my life, and it doesn't change my kids' lives.
Right.
It doesn't change, these bills don't go away, regardless how long I was in there, I was taken care of from the rodeo world, you know, so, it's the greatest feeling in the world, you know. Like I have nurses come in my room and say, hey, your phone's, it just stays on. Is there something wrong with it? I'm like, you know, I'm still out of it. You know, I'm so much pain medication. And I was like, if you really knew the story, like how many prayers are coming in, my phone actually wouldn't hardly even turn off. Like it would just stay on, the light would stay on because it
So
was
many
just like
notifications, people.
notifications, people praying, sending prayer, and I got to be so close to all my nurses because it was 24/7, you know, they had to be right there, you know, one after the other, and we got so close, you know, like each one of them knew I loved them so much, you know. I'm a big I love you person anyway, but
Yeah.
I would tell them that each and every day, like, and so, like, they would look at my phone too, you know, and stuff, and like, I like, just look at it, you know,
Yeah.
just look at the messages I get blessed to see of all these people praying for me, for my life, you know, like, and, you know, especially when I went to the nursing home, it was even more personal, one-on-one, you know, so, me getting to, like, just hand people a message, you know, or a prayer, like, it meant a lot, you know, and it
Yeah.
meant a lot to them, like, what feedback I give them about the field of, you know, doctors and nurses too, you know, so it was,
Right.
so it's kind of, you know, gratifying for everybody at the time.
Mhm. Yeah, so I had to do some digging to actually figure out, because I'd seen posts of you like in a walker just grunting, you know, trying to barely take a step. So, you know, the only thing that was ever really said was that, you know, you had hurt your knee. So when was it that you had originally retired?
I originally retired and, I was I just bought this place and, a friend of mine's dad had passed away. Well, he owned a shop across the town, across the highway at one time, and he had, you know, like old cars, you know, souped up engines and stuff. So they honored him after his viewing and funeral with a burnout, and like,
Yeah.
so we're just hanging out here at my house, and I see all these cars coming up the hill, like fancy cars, you know. I'm like, so I don't even have my phone. I'm like, we're just jacking around, you know, and so I'm really crippled at the time, like I'm having back issues, and I guess my hip was, you know, all leading up to that too. So I just kind of half slow jogged back to the house, and I stepped in a hole like less than a half inch deep, really. And I hyperextended my knees, what it felt like, you know, just kind of,
Yeah.
no big deal, kind of hurt, but not bad. A couple hours later, you know, I couldn't even bend it. It swole up so big, and then so I texted a buddy of mine, orthopedic surgeon, and I said, hey man, can you drain this tomorrow morning? I gotta get some relief. So we drained it, and then 3 days later, same thing. It just blew up again, you
Just
know.
swelled
So
up.
yeah, so we drained it again, and then, buddy, that last needle right there was the killer, man. Like, I just went septic, went toxic, you know, blood poisoning, staph, all of it, MRSA, all of it combined together, you know, like. So I stayed at Stephenville Hospital for 4 days, and my neighbor right down the road here, her daughter is a nurse up there right across the highway from my house here. So she comes in there and she says, you know, hey, I prayed about this. I've talked to my mom. I may lose my job, but at 9 o'clock tonight, there will be an Airbus EMS truck here to pick you up and get you out of here. I love this hospital, but they don't have no clue what's going on with you.
They need to get you somewhere.
They gotta get you somewhere where it's advanced medicine, and she, like she said, if you stay here till tomorrow, you're dead.
Yeah.
You die tomorrow. And, so sure, at 9 o'clock, here they come, you know, pick me up, take me out of there, you know. It's crazy. I don't remember a whole lot about those 4 days, because like when they picked me up from here from my house, you know, I woke Blake up screaming, you know, like I didn't even know where I was at. I didn't know my name. I didn't know nothing. Him and my best friend, you know, got the 911 and got them here and got me to the hospital. You know, I remember a couple of instances because I have pictures of it, you know, my daughter just standing there, and now the infection is shot, you know, over to my hip from my meniscus, you know, so I already had to be cut open at Stephenville just to get some of that poison out of me, you know. And so, you know, my ex-wife, she's working at the hospital. She's actually in charge of the decisions, like right then, like every decision, you know, so like, you know, it pays to be cordial, man, like, you know what I'm saying? She is in charge of the yes, no,
Yeah.
you know, life and death situations. I mean, so it was, today it is another reason I'm like so cordial with my family, you know, like they are my life, they're still my rock, you know what I mean? Like
Yes, sir.
on decisions like that, and my life's on the line, you know, so, like I said, but going back to the story, like all that infection shot from my meniscus to what else was struggling, which was my hip.
Mm-hmm.
And so it just started eating away at all that.
Gosh.
So would you say that, you know, stepping in that hole out there was kind of a blessing in disguise because of what, you know, they figured out that your hip was actually what was causing all your back pain and all that stuff while you was in there? Yeah, you had to go through a really bumpy road, but, you know, the pain that you was going through before you stepped in that hole, you don't feel that now, right?
No, I don't. You know, with you saying that, you know, the true blessing is really that God was showing me that it was time for change. You know what I mean? I'm taking you to the top of the mountain. Now I'm going to show you what it looks like underneath the mountain. You know what I mean? And so that was the life-changing role. You know, yeah, all this stuff is hurting, but him showing me that, hey, it's time for a change. I'm going to show you all this, right? I'm going to show you all this. And I'm going to make you come back, and I'm going to get you back to the top of the mountain, but we're going to do it my way.
Yes, sir.
Right? So, you know, I was hurting horrible. I could barely get around. I couldn't even really get on a horse before this actually even happened, you know? And so, you know, just, you know, to be able to get all this fixed now and just be standing level again, you know, like I've always felt like the last 5 years I was off an inch and a half, you know, like I could swing one leg almost without touching the ground, you know. So, yeah, it was his way.
Yes, sir.
But he showed me that he would heal me and get me back to where I wanted to be with him in charge, you know what I'm saying? So, we can just go off on that story, or we can combine them, and I love to combine them, because that's the only reason I'm alive.
Yes, sir. So, Nace said something on the truck on the way here. He said, ask that question.
Basically, you know, throughout your life, you've had a lot of success. You've seen a lot of, you've experienced so much. You know, God's blessed your life. You know, your whole entire life. Was it at, you know, what was the point in your life where you kind of had to let Him take the reins, and was it that experience that you just mentioned, or?
Yes, I mean, that's what people don't realize is, like, I'm very, I mean, like, I put it out there, man. Like, there's so many people that you know, they want to preach, you know, blessed. They want to preach all this stuff. And in the rodeo world, we know a lot of them where their heart really is. You know, some of it's, I can't judge anybody. There's only one person ever, from when I got my life straight, nobody bothers me, man. Nobody's gonna ever judge me again. I have one judge, and that's the only person that will ever judge me again, ever.
That's good.
But, you know, like, it's just wild, the journey He's taking me on. Like, I've been, you know, I was baptized at 17 years old. You know, I was a Christian my whole life, you know. I grew up in church. Like I said, people just put a bigger target on the ones they choose to put a bigger target on, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, since I was 9 years old, every eye has been on me until today, from 9 years old. So, the pressure that I've dealt with, could I have done things different through my career? Sure, we all can.
Absolutely.
We've all made mistakes.
We've
Like I said,
all fell short of the glory of God.
We all fall short of the glory of God. And, you know, like I said it yesterday when I was at my emotional peak, you know, like, none of y'all realize I've made the same mistakes that you make the same mistakes that I make.
Yeah.
I've owned mine. I make mine personal. I put it out there.
Yeah.
I want you to hold me accountable.
Right.
I have nothing to hide. I mean, like I said, He's taken me to the very top, and He put me under the mountain as well.
Yeah.
Right.
For me to fix my life. He didn't He is the only reason I'm alive, right? Only reason, right? Because all the success he gave me and all the struggles he gave me, he wanted me to be here. He wanted me to share all this. He wanted me to show what it looks like from the top and explain what it looks like looking underneath the mountain, right? So I know that this is the life for me. I know the only reason I'm here is because of him. You know what I'm saying? So I share it, and I share it bold. I will call a person out. It doesn't bother me anymore, because if I make a mistake or I do something wrong, the world's always judged me. Well, judge me now.
Right.
Judge this person.
Yeah.
You can't judge me very much anymore. You know what I'm saying?
There's only one judge, like you said.
I'm still going to make mistakes. I'm just not going to make a mistake that you think I'm going to make. You know, I have prayer every day, all day long. Man, I'm praying for you. I say, hey man, do me a favor. Pray for somebody else now, okay? The prayer worked. I'm alive. The prayer worked. I'm alcohol free.
It's great.
Reach out to somebody else now.
Mm-hmm.
I said, don't go, man. I pray for you that you don't stumble. Hey, I'm going to make it bold. I'm going to Vegas to support my daughter. Oh, man, there ain't no way. There ain't no way that dude can do that and stay locked into what he's got going on.
Mm-hmm.
8 days, buddy. 8 days. And that's around buddies that drink. That's around the worst situations, period. That's private parties. That's everything. And that's my greatest accomplishment, was those 8 days, not one drop of alcohol. So, like I said, I love the prayer. I love people reaching out. But when it comes to, like, I'm praying for you that you don't fall off the wagon, I said, man, these wheels are not coming off of this wagon. You know what I'm saying? My daughter said, Dad, just do me one favor. I've almost lost you for the rest of my life. All my dreams, I love my mom more than anything in the world, and she's my rock. She's my mother. But we're pretty much, my dreams aren't going to come true without you. You know what I'm saying? Like, she has her life. She has another baby, like a new husband. Like, that's her life. But for my daughter to live her dream starting late as she did, without me, it doesn't happen, And so she said, Dad, just do me one favor. Please just stop drinking. That's it. That's the only thing I wanted you to change.
And you're not going to mess that up.
Of anything.
Yeah.
And before the end of drinking come out of her mouth, there's never been another sip. Like, people ask me, like, hey man, can you help me? Can you send me a message every few days? Keep me on track. I said, this is a close friend of mine in town. He's got a brand new baby girl. He said, man, I need your help. I said, man,
the only one that can change you.
The only thing that can change you is you. You're your own person. God created you to be strong enough to do this. Okay, so like, if you can't stand over that baby girl and pray that you cannot take another sip of alcohol, I said, you deserve to just run that truck into a tree. She doesn't deserve you.
Yeah.
If you can't stop for her, what else is going to change you? Nothing else can change you. My daughter came to me personally and said, Dad, stop, please, just for me. Not another drop the rest of my life.
That's awesome.
Period. End of subject.
Yes, sir.
I can stand, you can drink all you want to. You can do all the drugs you want to. Around me, I don't care.
Yeah.
It phases me not 1 ounce.
Mm-hmm.
It never even goes, man, I want a drink of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, nothing. I don't miss it. I never even liked the taste of it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I just did it to fit in, right? The only reason I brag about Vegas so much is, yes, it's weird to drink a bottle of water with all your buddies. It really is. It's a weird feeling. So what did I do? I was like, I still buy rounds of drinks for my buddies. I said, hey, can you just bring me that same glass that they have, right? Just put Coke, Dr. Pepper, Sprite. I don't care what you put in it, just a soft drink. And put a lime on it. Really is all we really wanted to do is fit in, right?
Yeah, sit there and talk to them.
I didn't really want to get plastered drunk. Like I said, I don't even really like the taste of it.
Yeah.
I just drink because everybody else is drinking mainly, And then it turned into more and more, of course. But it was the coolest feeling, like, to get the people, like, because I post so boldly, to see the people at Vegas, like I got that glass in my hand, right? So like, I'm smiling like so big inside, like proud, you know? And they're judging me, right? They're judging me. And I said, listen, like Blake's with me most of the time, you know?
And handed it to you.
No, it's just, I said, Blake watches these people think I'm drinking, you know, like, it's so cool to have that feeling inside, just watching people judge you. But they're not judging, I mean, they can't even rattle me anymore.
That's the thing is, most of the time the people that judge you is not the people that are know you at all. It's somebody that sees you on TV, you know, sees your career or something, sees you on Instagram, Facebook and stuff, and sees how you're walking, and then they almost just want you to stumble.
They want you to stumble, and I don't understand it, you know what I mean? So I was so bold about people bashing Rocker Steiner at the finals, you know what I mean? Like, I made a post, I stepped on some toes, I don't care. It doesn't bother me 1 ounce to step on rodeo people's toes, it does not. I said, bro, do not let this get you sidetracked. They do not hate you. They make hateful posts, they don't hate you. They actually hate looking in the mirror, man. They hate that you're you, and they hate that they didn't become anything. That's who they hate. And then they say hateful things, okay? So until you realize that, I used it as fuel, man, my whole career. Was I stumbling a lot of times in my career? Yeah. So I compare it to like, if you go down here and win a lotto ticket and you win $1 million, what's the first thing most people do? They go, man, let's go party, let's go celebrate, right? Same thing, they win a rodeo, let's go celebrate. They win a gold buckle, you know, anything that's a huge win, people want to go celebrate. You know, until I put that in perspective, like, people don't get it. Do you know how many times I won?
Right.
A lot of damn celebrations, right? So, did I handle it the right way? No, but I won a lot, and I had a lot to celebrate. Could I have celebrated in a better way and representing myself? Sure I could, and my family, and I'd probably still have a family, you know. But, like I said, I'm proud that I have a family. I don't have actual family. I have a family for life, like, you know, my wife's husband, friends for 30 years.
Yeah.
My wife brought these kids to me. She brought these kids to me. I have 3 beautiful kids because of her. I mean, until you get that, man, like, I lost everything. 20-year career. I don't really have much to show for it, but I got 3 beautiful kids, healthy kids, and you know, sponsors that came back on board when I left. Not very many even left. That's what's crazy, you know, like, they didn't leave me. Some stepped down for a little while, but as soon as I showed them that, hey, this guy's got his stuff together, here they come back. You know, they wanted a successful guy in the arena, but now with so much media, so much spotlight, I can bring the same stage to them without.
Right here in your backyard.
Right here in my backyard, you know, right here on my highway fence, you know. I put metal signs out there because I'm boldly proud that they support me and my family, you know what I'm saying? So, like I said, the stage is set. I mean, like, we roll here first class now. You know, when you cross this gates right here, there's 0 alcohol. There's 0 drama. There's no drama. I'm a drama free here. I got students here that I tell I love, you know, like, they do not realize what they bring inside of me when they trust me with their life and their roping, you know what I'm saying? And their everyday life. Like, some people that come here, like, they're just blown away by my support, but they have no idea what they're bringing me inside, you know?
So, you was talking a lot about family, and, you know, just being around Blake yesterday, I could feel that, you know, you're his hero.
You are.
But it's not because of what you did in the arena. And, I mean, the love that you show your kids is awesome. And, I mean, like I said, Blake, the way he looks up to you and talks about you yesterday, I mean, I'm getting emotional now because of how much of a pedestal he puts you on, and that shows me what the man you are outside the arena and the way you are around here. Because if he wasn't the dad that, you know, was a good dad, he wouldn't look up to you the way he does.
Watching him yesterday before the match, just back there behind there, you know, powder in your hand and just doing everything for you, man. And just seeing how happy he is when he's with you, his dad, that is one of the coolest things. I mean,
You know, it's just a crazy story, you know. Only people that really know his story is people that were blessed to have him through school, and the guys that chose to rodeo with me when he was a baby, you know, like my wife and I were in the Northwest, and we woke up in the middle of the night one night in Walla Walla, Washington, and she's like, "Cody, wake up, wake up." Like, he's like burning up. He's like so hot. I mean, like he's soaking wet. He's like so hot. So we didn't know what to do. Like so we just whipped him up, rushed him to the hospital, you know. So we're there all day long. We're staying with some great friends of mine, Troy Frazier and his wives, and we're there all day. And so like this dude is, since the day he's born, I mean, inseparable. I mean, like, loves his mom, don't get me wrong, but like something like inside of him from God, like knew that he was going to struggle, you know what I'm saying? Like, so like he is just like bonded into me, right? So we stay there, we run all these tests, so I can't get to the bottom of any of it, right? So he had this fever for like hours upon hours, you know. So we know today that it scarred his brain, something in his learning, it scarred, you know, from that fever. And that's the only thing we have. I mean, we spent so much money on tests later on. The school's doing tests, and so, you know, like, I don't know what you call it, but he's lacking 25-30% of what he actually needs as far as like brain activity. But it's something that caused from this fever, you know. So, you know, his whole life, he had to be with me because I talked for him. You ask him too hard of a question and he could answer part of it, but he couldn't finish it, you know what I'm saying? So I had to stay programmed at all times when somebody was talking to him because I was fixing to have to finish his sentence, you know? And so even when Jenny would fly home with Hunter to start school, he stayed with me. I mean, he was not leaving me. He was not ever gonna leave. Like, she couldn't raise him by herself. I mean, he was that obsessed with me and what I had to bring to the table for him. And this was before he didn't even talk till he was like 5. Like, you had to get tubes in his ears. We didn't catch that on time. You know, he's like learning to hear muffled, you know. His ears are clogged. He can't process what everybody's saying. So he got behind there and he's already struggling with the fever it caused, you know what I'm saying? So I'm rodeoing with a baby by myself in the prime of my career. Yeah, my wife and Hunter's out there with me, but when it's time for him to go to school, it's me and Blake, you know, that's it, and my 2 traveling partners. I'd go to the airport just wrung out tired, right? I got a baby still in diapers. I got a diaper bag, a rodeo bag, my rope can. All he wants is a picking string and a chapstick. That's all he wants. That's the only toys. That's the only toys he required. Traveling, right? So we get to the airport and we're sitting there, and they're like, that's when the pilots would come early and they'd sit there before the plane would take off, you know. So like, this pilot looked at me. He says, "Hey man, y'all look so tired. Like, really, like, take a nap. It's like a couple hours before we take off. Like, we'll watch him." He's just sitting on my rope can with one picking string and a chapstick, which he would like pretty much eat the chapstick, you know? So like, I'm like, it just blows me away to remember those moments, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's another thing, like, I'm not saying I've changed rodeo in some areas, but I hold dads accountable, like not vocally, but like leading by example, you know, like before I started roping in a wedding ring, maybe 2 guys. I don't even know that I'd seen 2 guys roping their wedding ring. You know, and you hear all these excuses why you don't, why. My finger was so calloused from wearing a wedding ring every single second, right? So I'm just using this building up to something else, you know, like I started that, and then like later, like people were like, oh, this guy, when more TV, this guy's super dad. Well, I didn't ever really see that. Like, I was blessed to see that with Joe Beavers, like going to some amateur rodeos, and he's got Brody on his horse in his jacket, inside his jacket, warming his horse up. I'll never forget the first time I ever seen that. It was in Katy, Texas. I could, because with the dad I had that raised me, like, he turned me into the dad I am today. But to be blessed to see, like, one of my heroes, like, has his son inside of his coat, like, loping, warming his horse up. I mean, that's actually who made me the dad I am. You know, so, like, he changed it for me, and I carried it on and changed it for other people, you know, like, so it's a big deal now because we got TV, right? So more people want to do it just because of that. Yeah. We didn't have that. We didn't have TV. We did it because we were great dads, right? So that's what it means the most to me. Like, there's a lot of things said that's not true at all, but it's TV. You know, it's the cowboy life, you know, like they're just buttering everything up, right? So we're doing it with no TV, right? So now I am proud of the dads that step up now, but like I know from my rodeoing and doing it with the wedding ring and raising the kid on the road by myself, I know that wives stepped up and like, hey, that dude can do it.
You can do it.
You can do it. You can rope with that ring on. That's bull crap. You know, what am I gonna hang it on? That wedding ring ain't going over my saddle horn, right? Like, it's not going over my reins. It ain't going over the calf's front leg. Yeah, it's gonna get in a bind because I got so much torque on it. I'm gonna have some calluses. But what am I gonna hang it on? I'm not doing sheet work, you know, metal work here. I'm roping a calf, right? So I just do know that more wives are like holding them accountable because of that. And then I seen it more, and then I seen it more, and then I see, and it's things I noticed. I don't miss anything, right? So same thing with being a dad on the road. More wives were holding their husbands more accountable. You know? And so it's kind of a cool feeling because I knew he's with me 24/7. Yeah. With a wife, with my family, or without a wife. You know, like, so, you know, I'm flying home on a Learjet. I'm flying home commercial. He's with me nonstop. I wait last minute. I almost get turned out. Second high call at Cheyenne, the daddy of them all, right? I'm at home. I compare it to so many songs, you know, like it's weird. Last minute, me and him hop on a private jet. We land. I get there. My driver Whiplash has got my horse ready. Like, I get there maybe 15, 20 minutes, you know, like, got to get prepared. Wind shine right then. You know, there's pictures everywhere. I got him on my horse with me, you know, it's victory lap. There he is, just me and him, you know, so he's been my whole life, you know, like, he's seen it all, he's been there through it all, you know, like, another story about when he's a baby, so like, Colorado Springs was indoors one year, and so Cimarron Boardman is rodeoing with me, and Houston Hutto, and the only person that he would go to would be Cimarron, you know, like, so he ropes actually one roper before me, and I got all my jerk line tucked in, I got everything, my rope ready, my string ready, and he's still in the saddle, and then they're calling my name. I have to hand him, like, pry him out of the saddle, hand him to Cimarron. I rope my calf, I set the arena record, and about the time the dude drops the flag to my 6 seconds is like, he's already handing him back to me. So like, he's like, bro, he's yours, man. You gotta have him back. Yeah. And so, you know, just the emotions that I remember now, like, I couldn't even really get ready yesterday. Like, I'm so emotional, and him telling me this, and he done hugged me like 5 times, and the match hadn't even started, you know, like, so like, literally, like, I put my rope on the saddle horn. He knows where my knot, I want my knot. He knows where my jerk line, like, I don't want it floating around on her. He knows to put my rope over the back of my jerk line. like I'm watching him
And he's
prepare
already
me
done all
for
of it
my
you.
match.
Yeah.
Because he freaking knows, like,
Yeah.
he's been there through them all. He's been through my whole life. And I'm watching him, and I start crying, like, I'm not even on my horse yet. And everything is the way I would have put it on there, not the way somebody, my buddy, would have put it on there.
Right.
And then so, like, I just have to hug him, like, right before I get on. And he's, like, just squeezing me. And, like, I can just feel his body just shaking, like, how proud he is of this moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, and like they say, every time, I don't even have to say I need something. He knows I need a towel. He knows I need a little drink of water. He knows the exact amount of powder in my hand.
Yeah.
Exact amount of powder in my hand. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was the emotional, as far as me getting the rope, but to share it with him because he has seen it all. He's seen the highs, he's seen the lows, and now he's seeing what God is doing in my life. He's seeing what I'm sharing, what I'm doing for others. Like, every day somebody pulls in here, he's like, another lesson, Dad? I'm like, they're coming, bud.
Mm-hmm.
They're coming. Every day there's somebody coming through here.
Yeah.
I can't do an all-day lesson. I can do a 2-hour lesson, right? So I can't get behind on my job. I can't get behind on my work. It's 2 hours. I've tried to bless somebody's life. 2 hours a day, that's it. And it just fuels me to be better. Fuels me to be better daily. And then him now, I've tried it all. I've tried the screaming at him. I've tried the grounding him. I've tried to cut him off. None of that works with some kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna die out there of a heart attack getting that mad, right? So I chose to pray about it. I chose to ask God, how do I need to go about raising him, right? To put the final finishing touches on him and let him be a man of his own. I just started leading by example every day, doing the right things, trying to eat the right things. Everything around him, tried to be a better person in every phase of it, right? It took 3 weeks, and he just started following in, seeing how I treat my horses, seeing how I go outside when I'm bored at 11 o'clock at night when nobody's around, no traffic, no road noise. Just the ones that did good that day, I mean, yeah, I want to go pet them. I want them to know that it's a bond. I can't have this horse not trusting the process, right?
Yeah.
I can't have him jumping out from under me. If he works great, I'm out there, man. He knows it at night. I mean, if a horse don't know that you cleaned up a couple of piles of crap at night where they lay, they can read your mind and they can read your play. They can read your swing. You don't think that horse can read it? Hey, man, this dude gets it, man. He gets that I'm doing good. I lay right there. I'm not laying in my own pee. I'm not laying in my own crap.
Mm-hmm.
I said, it's just the inner feeling I bond with these horses, you know. And so, like, I've done it kind of my whole career. My drivers was always so good at it, knew how to like things. They did it, you know what I'm saying? They did all the work, but it was in the same fashion. Like, we took care of our horses. That's why they seemed like they gave me more, you know.
Okay.
So if a horse can read all that other stuff and he can't read that, I'm dead wrong, right?
Yeah. Talking about horses and in your career, I think you've had some of the best calf horses there's ever been in the business. And I mean, the one that always stands out is Pearl. I mean, how did she come into your life and how did you get to ride such a good horse there?
Well, you know, like people ask me, it's daily, you know, like what's the best one you rode? Well, like I got horses like that were nobody else could win on,
Mm-hmm.
or the horse kind of got where nobody else was winning on him because he had enough, you know, like, and then I just kind of put my own twist on them and freed them up and did this and straightened them out. And then, you know, one thing I struggle with is because great as Pearl was, I never won a world championship on her. You know, I was screwed out of one, royally screwed out of one, and that's one reason my ropings are the way they are, you know. Anything that screwed me around in my career, in my backyard, will not ever screw a little kid around, an open rope around. I don't care who it is. I mean, I can name all the age groups I want to, but it does not matter.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday there was some stuff happening. You gave some reruns.
There's some reruns.
Where another open production wouldn't have done it.
No, it's hey, we'll see you next week, or hey, we'll see you next year is what a rodeo will tell you.
Yeah.
And that's what they told me at the National Finals Rodeo. So why do I get so sour?
Mm-hmm.
Houston rodeo just showed you why I get so sour,
Yeah.
right?
It's in the
They
spotlight
personally,
now.
they're in the spotlight now. The PRCA just got held accountable for their actions.
Yeah.
You know, everybody bashed me forever, like, PRCA done this for you, done that for you. But you know what else they did? I'm telling you what they done to me, right? I'm telling you what they done to me. And now you're getting to witness it firsthand because of the Cowboy channel, what happens in rodeo to timed event contestants, right? There's no damn reruns. There's no nothing. I mean, like, sorry, luck of the draw. So what hurts us the worst? What makes a timed event guy the worst? When they say, guy didn't have a chance to win first in the rough stock. Didn't have a chance to win first.
They gave him another horse.
He gets a reride. You know how sour that makes me for like them jerking a gold buckle away from me? I mean, like, people realize now, I really needed Houston to happen. I didn't need it to happen to that kid.
Yeah.
I needed it to happen because I'm so bold about holding them accountable.
Right.
You know, biggest
And that's the
biggest
thing.
Stetson Wright fan in the world, right?
Mhm.
You think we can haze a calf like he hazed his brother's saddle bronc horse the other night?
No. it ain't
I'm
that
not,
way.
I'm just saying, I love that guy to death. He's got it. He's got all the tools. He's got it inside of him, right? He will hang on to a bull till like the foot pulls his helmet off, you know,
Yeah.
like, that's what I love about rodeo is those few people that have that. I'm not judging Stetson, right? I'm using him as an example
For
in
sure.
this story, right? So the guy bumped his stirrup on the his chaps on the bucking chute, reride. Hey, he gets a free roll here. Well, when in the hell do we get a free roll, right? When do we get a free roll? We don't get a free roll, you know? And so in my backyard, we're gonna give free rolls, right?
Oh, yeah.
I seen that, I mean, just briefly, a barrier catch a girl's leg in the short round yesterday. It's not even a question, right? It's rerun.
Yeah.
Okay, so like, Joe Beaver's ropings last week, and he hires good judges there, right? So Joe's busy, he's back and forth both arenas, you know, like, the judge, he's a first class judge. All the calves run. This one barely even broke the neck rope, like, can't about run him over, right? And I just look at, his name's Bobby Flores. I said, Bobby, just make the call, man. Just do the right thing, right?
Yeah.
We are all witnessing right now what not making the right call done for somebody, right?
Yeah.
I said, you don't need Joe Beaver down here. I am Cody Ohl, right? Make the right call. That's all I want you to do right now. Make the right call.
Yeah.
I got your back. Joe Beaver knows that I'm gonna make the right call,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
Just make the right call. It's a kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they make the right call and do it. But I hold people accountable now. You know, like, just do the right thing, man.
Yeah.
It's a kid,
Mhm.
right? Before this roping started, it was 12 and under, right? You heard that when I announced that, 12 and under,
Mhm.
okay? Just do the right thing.
Yeah.
But back to the horse deal, like, Pearl was the only one that I didn't win a world. I did win a world championship on her.
Mm-hmm.
I was screwed out of one, right?
Yeah.
I just had to not fall off for 2 rounds.
Right.
Well, worse than that happened, you know what I'm saying? My calf walked out.
Yeah.
But it hurts me today that I didn't get a gold buckle on the coolest horse ever, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, she come into my life because there was guys that tried her, there was guys that tried to rodeo on her, it was you know, it just wasn't working, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Me and her, I tried her one day and I knew she was the one. You know, I knew she was the one, so I loaded her up that day. We struggled the first few. She done the same thing in a performance that she done with other people, you know. And there's things that I fixed and I fixed right now, you know. And she then the bond and the trust was there forever. Like, she gave me her life every time I nodded my head because I wanted to give my life every time I nodded my head. And I had the best partner, right? And, you know, I had a great, you know, Sid Miller owned her, you know, raised her. And his brother started her and got her going and all that stuff. But, you know, we made her famous and I didn't, in another phase is that I didn't get her in the right time of my life either. You know, like, my kids are starting sports, you know, my oldest son's starting, you know, football, he's starting t-ball, he's starting all this stuff. Well, nobody's gonna, I mean, we're looking for coaches.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else is just gonna like coach my kid, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm home as much as I can to be an assistant coach, much less the coach, right? So, she was robbed of a little because of that, My driver would call and say, hey man, you do know you're up at 3 big rodeos the next 3 days, and I'd be like, I'm not gonna make it today, but be ready to pick me up at the airport tomorrow. And then he was like, hey man, I'm fixing to load up everything, head to the airport, what time you get in? And I said, man, I already won that rodeo like 3 times in my career. I said, it's really not that big. I said, Hunter's got a T-ball game tomorrow, and just stay where you're at. We always had great families out there that just took us in over the years, and I had a great place for my horses to rest and all that. So then the 3rd day would roll around, and he said, bro, this is Caldwell, Idaho, your favorite rodeo. I said, I know, I've won it 4 times with Flash. We got another game today, Hunter wants to go to the zoo, man, really ain't that big a deal, is it? So, I know how many world championships I could have won. I know personally. I don't have to say anything about it. I won 6. I lost 4 by literally nickels, 1 little bobble, 1 little mistake, turning out 1 extra rodeo. I know how many I could have won. But
you had world champions at home.
I had world champions I was trying to be a world champion dad.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted to be. I was blessed to have that kind of dad in my life. You know what I mean? When I turned around at a sporting event, much less rodeo, my family was there. My dad was there. And I could hear him, I promise you, So I'm vocal, I'm loud because of that. I'm very proud of when my kids are involved in something, and I want to see it all. They want to miss it all. So, I get off track part of your questions, but it's just I have a lot built up inside of me that gets me off track. But leading to Pearl, she was just. I feel bad because she was robbed. I should have won 3 world championships on her. I'm still in my prime, but I was in the prime of being a dad too. So I let a lot of go buckles, but I know inside of me how many I could have won. So that's the piece that I sleep with, and 1 was enough. But when you win that first one, then that second one becomes the most important to show the world that it wasn't an accident.
And you won them back to back.
Back to back. And
that's a pretty elite group of guys and gals that have won back-to-back world championships. There's not very many in that.
Sure.
In that club.
Just another, God's timing. The year I won the all around in the calf rope and just happened to blow my knee out in the 9th round. That was probably the worst as far as my career. It robbed me of so much. Sponsorship wise, I'm hunting sponsors. I'm laying on my back again. Here I am on my back again for months and months and months. I'm at the top of my career, and it's just rugs jerked out from under me. I have to fight my way back, dig deep, fight my way back, come back. As soon as I'm healthy, I win the world championship again.
Yes, sir.
Because of the naysayers, the people that supposedly hate me.
Yeah.
I used it as fuel, right? So I had to win the world in 2003. There's no way he's coming back from this. There's no way he's gonna rehab. I had a nice place that we put together. We actually moved to town across from the rehab. That's how dedicated I was, so I could go on crutches twice a day to rehab because I was coming back bigger, stronger, faster. And what's funny is that's the year that I broke the arena record. So you were right. I didn't come back the same. I actually came back better, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I came back better, so that's what it's inside me. You're blessed with that from God, it's a God thing. It's not
for sure.
It's unreal.
Yeah, I think afterwards, after the match open, we were just talking there after, everybody picked up their silent auction stuff and whatever, but we were kind of talking about back in the day how it just seemed like it was different, those matches, especially between you and Fred. That was like a rivalry, and I don't think that there's ever been something more iconic in rodeo where 2 cowboys or anything had matched each other. And it was like, I watched so many videos of the year that y'all went to the American, and you talked about how much you just love the pressure and you love the adrenaline and all that stuff. And, and Fred's the same way. He's like, I got to get out there and do, but it's like you guys are preparing to do that. And so yesterday you was talking about you and Fred's rivalry and they were just talking about in general, like, the crowd. And it just seems like you go to the finals now and it's exciting. Yes. But I feel like if I could go back in time and could have been there, when you and Fred were on the same stage or even at a match open between you and Fred, like what was different now, like what it was different back then between those type of things with you and Fred and your rivalry and like rodeo now?
Well, it's changed tremendous. Like, you will never, ever, ever see two more dedicated friends. Like, people don't get it, man. We rodeoed in the same rig.
Mm-hmm.
We slept in the same beds at times.
Yeah.
They don't get it, man. Nobody will ever have what we had. Nobody. I mean, like for 6 years through 20 of it, we were in the same truck, same rig, same camper, same whatever. You know what I'm saying? So like, we would get that call while we're in the Northwest, both of us, right? Hey, San Angelo's, we're having our meeting tomorrow night. Y'all two are our match ropers. We're in the same rig. From that conversation, for however long he and I matched there, it was different.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the summer still ended good, but it was different. So when we would get home from that run, my rig would be parked at his house.
Mm-hmm.
I would get out of my rig, load all my stuff, 30, 45 days. Not a text, not a call, not a nothing. You think boxing's that way?
Mm-hmm.
They ain't have shit on this.
Yeah.
I mean, we're friends. We're like,
Good friends.
I'm driving. His life's in my hand.
Yeah.
Vice versa. We have a driver. We're in the camper. He's driving. That's how tight we are. We don't talk for 30, 45 days. I mean, no communication other than outside. Oh, he's going to beat your ass, or vice versa. People trying to, these guys are in his corner. My guys are in my corner, right? We go to San Angelo. There's no buddy. We shake hands. It's back to nodding like we're enemies, like we're across the way from each other. We're picking calves that I think will dominate him.
Mm-hmm.
They're picking calves today to match old Fluffy that he picked and Fluffy that he picked.
Right.
I'm picking the biggest, strongest sucker in there, and I'm just banking on God letting me win the coin toss, or he's got to run that man eater first, right?
Yeah.
Or second. However, I know what horses he has here. Like, he knows what horses I have here.
Right.
He's like, man, if I could run that calf first, that calf is going to scream the second time. He's going to run him way down there, and he's big and strong. And we're picking calves. He's at least 30 feet from me, and it's whisper. My group's whisper. It's not 1 ounce of game plan. Nobody knows nothing about game plans, right? It's like it's fixing to be a slugfest, right? They paid for this show. We're going to give them a show, right?
Yeah.
No TV, no Cowboy channel. This is raw, buddy.
Right.
This is two guys that are top of their game, trading battles back and forth, gold buckle, gold buckle, gold buckle. That's all this is. And then two guys that eat, sleep, and breathe winning, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what he's picking. He don't know what I'm picking. Then we go head to head. I'm talking about battle. We got fans screaming vulgar stuff. I mean, you miss one, people are hooping and hollering. Anything you can think of would go down in San Angelo, right? Anything.
Yeah.
When the match was over, a hug, shake a hand.
Back to being good friends.
100% like we never even roped.
Yeah.
Why is that?
It's just the competitors.
This is
in
what
us,
it is.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's all in our minds. Like they always thought that he was like the biggest asshole. Like, nah, he's not. That dude will give a shirt off his back to anybody, man.
Right.
I mean, like, I mean, I was like rodeoing with my dad at times, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's how much he cared, you know? And I've never become the greatest without him. He had already started winning the world championships before I come along. I just made him greater, right?
Yeah.
We made each other greater. The sport of rodeo became greater because of our interactions with each other, feeding off of each other. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
sure.
So, like, the greatest feeling in the world. I mean, like, we'd get done. We were at dinner each other. We'd go eat steak together. We were at the bar together, like, together. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I have a guy messing with me at the bar. He knocks him out. You know what I mean? I just beat the guy in a match roping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't get it, man. Like,
Yeah.
That's what I love about rodeo.
Yeah.
Is you guys can be the most competitive people in the world and hate each other, but you're best friends at the same time. You know what I mean? It's there's no other sport in the world. There's nothing that is like rodeo. That you have the most family atmosphere. Like, you can not see somebody for 3 years and they're still your best friend. And, you know, in any other sport, you don't have that.
well, people just know what it takes. You know, we don't have no guarantees, man. We don't have nothing. You know,
Yeah.
like, what you win in the arena is yours.
Yeah.
What you can't afford to go win, that's another struggle. You know what I mean? Like, it's family, man. We're all on the road together. We're all up and down the road together. It's like, I just thank God that there's not more wrecks
Yeah.
and things that end people's lives that we've dealt with a little bit, but like, there's such a big window for it to happen, and especially now with phones and all of that. You know, like, there's a little more of it because of that. But the hours, people see us at Las Vegas, man. You know, they qualified for the finals. They have no clue, man.
The hours
They
that
have
it
no
took to
clue.
get there.
You know, the Cowboy channel's made it a little bit, but that camera ain't in these rigs.
Oh, yeah.
That camera ain't in that truck stop when you're buying all this stuff to stay awake these last 2 hours.
Yeah.
Them cameras ain't on the real stuff. They do as good as they can to show the Cowboy way of life and what it takes. Nah, man, they can't video this, right? They can't video what's under this shirt, right? They can't video none of that. They can't video that match, what's under the shirt. You know, if he's 8'8" and the fastest runner of the day, he knows there's a chance I can be 8'7", right? Or vice versa, right? So he and I, like, we be riding up to the arena. Same deal, man. Same as our matches. People that he's like patting them on the back, having fun, having a beer with the night before, like, buddy, like, they think we're friends, right? When we're riding to the arena, I learned from the greatest at it. Like, I'm side by him, like I'm younger than him, like I'm just cruising, like I'm soaking it all in myself, right? And people, hey, Fred, how's it going? Blah, 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 blah. You know, how's it going? He just go, what's up? And I'm competitors.
Yeah.
We had, not we so much, he had them, their mind was spinning, right? He had he was the greatest roper there, but he had their mind so boggled, like, dang, man, maybe he is an ass, but like, you know, ass. He is so focused
Yeah.
and dialed in to his job.
Yes,
that
sir.
we pay
To watch.
put on a show.
Right.
We
Yeah.
pay our entry fees. We do all this. We paid to get there. It's 100% business.
Yeah.
It was all about winning. It was nothing about that guy maybe thought we were rude. After walked by, hey, he probably pushed his calf or kicked the corner down for him when he was up there, but
Right.
he never got off of that. You're roping for second today, pard, right?
Yeah.
Or matter of fact, you're roping for third because Cody's picking up on this too, right? So I just used it, and it just fueled it. It turned us into a duo that will never, ever, ever. I don't care.
There'll never be another
They
Fred
can
and
argue
Cody.
GOAT status. I know what I am inside. He knows what he is inside, right? I tell myself daily I'm the GOAT, right?
Yeah.
What do you think made me as good as I am? I don't tell myself somebody's better than me, right?
Yeah.
When my feet hit the floor now, it used to be just running wide open, right? Just trying to be the best I can.
Yeah.
I hit the floor in different ways in the morning now, right?
Right.
I'm in prayer first, and then I go at every day like there's not a day going to get me down anymore, man.
Yeah.
Like, I'm here for a reason. I'm going to show this world what today, the actual day, I'm going to own it. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
I don't listen to that. I'm going to struggle, or I struggle with that. Hey, said, man, don't struggle.
Right.
Like, go kick this world's ass. Like, go kick this day.
Yeah.
Right? You've got to go about it like that. That's why I was raised that way. I got to witness it with Fred that way. Like, go own it, right?
Yeah, for
When you
sure.
go to your job, you've got to tell yourself inside that you are the greatest. What fixes mind games is winning.
Yes, sir.
So keep your mind clear.
Yeah.
Go win. You don't have no mind games, man.
No.
Like,
Right.
only mind games you have is because you didn't compete growing up aggressively enough and become a winner.
Yeah.
And do know what it's like to lose. But
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
like, do everything to win.
Yeah.
And that's what fixes everything with your mind games. You know?
Yes, sir. So one thing I ask a lot of people that come on the show is, what was the greatest 5 minutes of your life?
Man, that's a hard question for guys that's been blessed like I have. You know, like, man, there's, you know, I could say a lot of things. You know what I mean? Like, God's blessed me that big. You know, but I don't know. I mean, my three kids I was blessed to have
Yeah.
is my greatest accomplishment over anything. Like, so as great as you think I've had it, that is the greatest, period. But there's not a bigger accomplishment to me, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's not even a conversation, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, you know, in 2 seconds, that's
Yeah.
it. My kids, that's it.
Yeah, and like the way that your kids look up to you and you look up to your kids too, I can see that just from like what you post on, social media and stuff about Sailor and Blake and how they help you around here and everything, and just their roping and stuff. It's cool that you have such a tight-knit family. And you mentioned something about the reason you quit drinking was because something Sailor said to you. And just kind of tell us how that happened.
Well, it's just, I just had struggled, like, and it's the reason I'm not talking about the religious part now. It's who I am today because of the struggle. You know what I mean? Like, I was still drinking when I got home from rehab, from not drinking rehab, like health rehab, like walking rehab. Like, I was so lost, like
Yeah.
this isn't the quality of life, man. I've been an athlete my whole life. Can't put my shoes on. Can't put my socks on. Can't dress myself. Like, can't take a shower. My ladies at the nursing home, like I said, man, the walls are closing in on me here.
Yeah.
Anxiety's kicking in. I got to go. I know you can't have paperwork ready today. It's Sunday. I mean, tomorrow. Today is Sunday, right? I'm leaving here Tuesday. I got to go home. You can't even shower yourself, Cody. Oh, yeah, I can. She said, I know how clean you are. You cannot take care of yourself. Like, I know you now. We're like family, right? So,
Yeah.
like, 3 days later, I'm on the back porch. It's a little chilly out there, but I'm showering myself. I'm sitting in a chair. I'm butt naked on my back porch, and you see where I live.
Yeah.
I can do it, but I was struggling, bad struggling, like depression. Like, I was playing it off good, but man, I'm hurting. I'm not this person, man. I'm an athlete.
Yeah.
I'm an athlete from the day I was born, right, till now. Like, I'm struggling. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing now. Like, I know what it's like. I know exactly the feeling. I'm not the superstar that's never had nothing wrong, right? I've done this over and over and over and over. Now I'm doing it like driving off of that because, like, I'm still drinking. Like, I'm not dealing with it good. I'm not. First off, retirement's, that's 3 years ago leading up to that. And it's like, I'm still not good with it. I'm still
Yeah.
not good at retirement. I'm an animal inside, like, right? I'm caged up. It's like Strand Smith said it best, man. Y'all could have these world championships after he won his first one. I'm not putting my body through that again, man. I'm not putting my brain through that again.
Mm-hmm.
I got done what I wanted to get done, right?
Yeah.
I've been close. I got it done. You guys that got over 2, you guys are freaking animals. I don't want no part of that, man. Like, it's hard on you, right? So now it's hard on me in another way. It's hard on me because
you're not getting to do it.
I can't even do anything for myself, right? So like, not good with it.
Yeah.
So I'm still drinking. I'm still doing wrong things. You know what I mean? Like I'm home. Thank God, you know, I'm home. My daughter comes to me and says, Dad, it's time, Dad. Please, it's time. Would you please? I've almost lost you forever, like forever and ever and ever and ever, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love my mom to death. She's my rock. She's my mom, right? But you're my dad. Like, you are the greatest at what I want to become the greatest in.
Mm-hmm.
My dreams are done if you're done. My dreams are done if you're gone, right?
Yeah.
They're done. Like, just please quit drinking. And I was like, she didn't get the end from drinking, like, out of her mouth. Like, I was done. You know what I mean? Like, before I drank just to fit in, right? Now I'm just drinking to deal with life, right?
Yeah.
Like, dealing with life. It's still piling up on me. It's still kicking my ass every single day, right? But before she could get the end out of her mouth, much as I've drank, much as I've partied, much as I've done wrong things, it was over. It was stinking over from that point, right? Not another drop.
Yeah.
My daughter told me to quit drinking. My baby. They're all my babies, man. I treat them. There's no middle child. There's no oldest child. There's no youngest child. They're mine. They are all mine, right? So, but she happened to be a girl. My baby actually be a girl, man. The girl that'll still wipe your butt, man, when you're in a nursing home, right? It's a girl. It's a different thing, right? She told me to quit drinking. You know, so from that point, it's like I took it. I ran with it.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a chance of me ever falling off of that wagon, man. Like the haters hate on somebody else, man.
Yeah.
You lost. You can't hate on me.
Mm-hmm.
Hate on what I'm doing now. Hate on
Yeah.
that, man. Good luck with that, right? Not an ounce of alcohol left in me. Like, you can drink, you can do all the crap you want. What you want in front of me does not faze me, doesn't bother me, doesn't do anything, man. I can actually put on a party here, man, and just I can drink water, I can drink Coke, I can drink Sprite, whatever. I'm done with that. My kids mean that much to me, right? So, like, if you want to talk about accomplishments, like 8 days in Las Vegas, Nevada, during the National Finals Rodeo, not a drop of alcohol. That's like one of my world's largest accomplishments, right? So really, when I put it into perspective, you know, like, yeah, it's weird standing around, everybody's drinking and you're drinking water. It's a weird feel, real vibe, you know, like. So I just told the waitress, I said, like, hey, if I buy a round of drinks for them, don't bring me a water, just bring me a Coke, Sprite, 7-Up, whatever you got, put a lime on it. Really, all these years, I just really wanted to fit in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Really didn't even like the taste of it. Didn't like I just drank because everybody else was drinking, right? And then it became more, and it became more, and it became more. And like I told you earlier, like, you know, everybody celebrates, right, when they win something big, right?
That's
Yeah.
right.
Well, most people don't win a lot of things big, so it's a celebration when they do, right? It's a celebration when it's a different celebration when somebody gets baptized or, you know, accepts Christ. It's a celebration.
Yeah.
But we all celebrate in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not talking about baptism and all that. I'm talking about life. Like,
Yeah.
you win the lotto down here when you're leaving here in a minute. Like, I'm just using you for example, but I'm not saying you're going to do that. But hell, let's go to the bar. Let's celebrate. Let's buy everybody rounds. Let's do that. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's have the biggest time, right?
Mm-hmm.
I won a lot, man. I won a lot.
Yeah.
I won a lot more than everybody. Like, we celebrated a lot.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know what I
for
mean?
sure.
I'm just not using that for an excuse. We had a lot. We won almost every day. 1-2
Yeah.
punch. Fred and I, bam, bam. Like, we had more fun than anybody. We did our job in the arena, then we celebrated because we won, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We just got to celebrate a lot more than a lot of people. You know what I mean? So I use it that way, like,
Yeah,
far as that.
sure.
But like, far as a dad, man, like, you don't have to say, man, I pray you don't do this. I pray this don't happen. I pray you don't fall off the wagon. I said, man, whatever brand of tires these are, that's what you need to buy because they're not falling
Wheels
off the
ain't coming
wagon,
off.
right? They're
That's
not coming
good.
off this train.
That's good.
We're good, right? So like, I love the prayer, but send it to somebody that needs it. You know, like I have a buddy here in town, man. How did you do it, man? How did you do this? Or, hey, can I call you? I need help in life, right? I dealt with some of those people for a little while when I think they need me, right?
Yeah.
It's a waste of my breath. It's a waste of my time. Kids that come here that don't want to learn for the right reason, it's a waste of my time. I don't have time to waste, right? I'm still trying to get a year back of my life.
Yeah.
Don't pray for me, man. Pray for somebody else. Like I said, the guy asked me, he says, how did you just quit drinking like that, man? How did you not have to go to rehab? My daughter asked me, man, you have a newborn daughter and you're asking me how to quit drinking?
Yeah.
So I told him, I said, man, if you can't look over her and pray and ask God to help you quit drinking for your daughter. I'm not talking about your wife. I'm talking about your daughter.
Yeah.
That's actually half you right there laying there, right? If you can't quit for that, run that truck into a tree because she does not deserve you, man. She don't deserve you. It took me a while. Yeah, it sure did take me a while. But it didn't take me too long. Like I didn't miss the boat.
But when
I got right
when
on
you
the boat when I needed to get on the boat.
Yeah, when it was there when you was up against the wall and she asked you to quit, it didn't take you 2 weeks to quit. It didn't take you a month to quit. It didn't take somebody else. It was instant.
Right then. It was, she didn't get the N out of her drinking. She didn't get that out of her mouth.
Yeah,
I was done. Same thing about roping yesterday.
yeah,
The switch hadn't been on in how long, man? Just when the switch is on, it's on, right?
yeah,
When she asked me, the switch was on. That's it. Done. Wide open, doing the right thing.
yes, sir.
And so, that's other than the birth of my kids and raising 3 great kids, like that is my next accomplishment over winning anything. Like,
Yes, sir.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know people wasting my time, man. I went 2 weeks and then I fell off the wagon. I mean, like, I have it inside of me, man. Like if I want to do something, I can get it done.
Yes, sir.
God created me. He created you. He created us all the same. Like I said, you're not going to be me in the arena. My son's not going to be me in the arena. My daughter's not going to be me in the arena. Nobody's going to be me in the arena.
Yeah.
Go be you. If it's sitting on the couch, be the best at sitting on the couch, right?
Yeah.
Just go be the best you can
Yeah.
be. Don't hate me. I don't hate you for being the best at sitting on the couch. Take pride in it, man. If that's all
Yeah.
you can do,
That's
Yeah.
true.
well, it's doing something, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not what I prefer.
Yeah, me
But I'm
either.
just saying, you just got to go. I mean, like, it's got to be like, don't waste my time until you can get some God in your life first. Me telling you what to do in life's not going to even phase you. I know that for a fact. Like 2 or 3 people I've tried to help. I said, man, I'm not your guy.
Yeah.
I'm not your guy. And I post that daily about my roping. If you don't do this, you don't want to do this, I'm not your guy, right?
Yes,
This
sir.
is not a horse trading place. We train horses here. I train the greatest that I know how to train here. That's it. There's no wasting my time. It's everything is to the point here. Like same thing as life. It's to the point, man. Just do the right thing,
Yes, sir.
Like I told you on the barrier calls and stuff, like these junior opens, like Joe's last weekend. Just, hey man, Joe's at
Make
the
the
other
right
arena.
call.
I'm standing here. Just make the right call, man. Just make the right call. We know it's the right call. Just do it.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing in life, man. Just make the right call. And, with her holding me accountable, I just make the right call, isn't it? That's
Yeah.
it. Just do the right things, what I try to do now.
Yes,
Right.
sir.
Yeah,
So,
go ahead, Cody.
so I was your sponsors. You have an arena full of sponsors, and you said, they're not just weekend sponsors. They're behind me all the time. Just kind of tell us about some of your sponsors.
Well, you see, I've been blessed with great sponsors my whole life. I mean, my whole career since '96, I really started getting sponsors on board. And they believed in me at my worst. They believed me in me at my best. And now some of them that kind of drifted away for a few years, man, they're just coming back, man. They just want to see you be successful and do the right things, right? Just do the right thing. You know, my gold sponsors, they're on my shirts. They're on the front wall out here on the highway. They get the extra bells and whistles. The ones down the fence line. I'm in my arena daily. I post daily. Everybody that's on my team, it's not just a shout out there. It's slow. I mean, I don't just, you're my sponsor. You know what I mean? Like I take time in the evenings in the sunset. I take time to show them that I appreciate them.
Yes, sir.
That money's not all going in my pocket.
Right.
I am the only Sunday afternoon jackpot that you can go to with added money.
Yeah.
Do you think that comes out of my pocket? I take part of every sponsorship that I get and I give it to I just say youth, but I have open rope breakaways too. So
Yeah.
it's not for the champions of tomorrow. Yeah, it is the champions of today and tomorrow. But I take part of this sponsorship money and I dedicate it
To your
because
opens.
they not only believe in me,
Right.
but what helps them believe in me is they believe in me what I'm giving back to these kids, right?
Exactly.
So they're more apt to be a part of the whole pie, right? Instead of just having me this little slice here.
Yeah.
They're a part of all that. And every roping I make that a point. Like I don't just wear those. They believe in me, but they believe in you too, right? So when you make the choice to buy something, remember what was on my fence here, right?
Yeah.
If you don't have sponsors, remember who these are really your sponsors too. You know what I'm saying? They're sponsoring your event. They're sponsoring your age group, right? So remember that because there's sponsors on that fence right there that anteed up for Caleb, just for Caleb. But they said, you know what? How about we just stay on all year?
Yeah.
So they trusted in me, what I'm doing right too, right? So that's what makes me so vocal about them. And it also makes me freaking vocal about the ones that wouldn't step up or wouldn't return a text or wouldn't say, we can't afford to do it. I said, you can't or you don't want to, right? There's a big difference. You can't or you don't want to, right?
Yeah.
I'm not talking about, I mean, if it was $50 and you're you're a millionaire and you wouldn't say, hey, I'll send you $50. Would I look down on you? You know, one of my number one fans, I'm his fan for life, like other than Cass, is a steer wrestler. And if he's going to listen to this, he'll know who he is. It's not the amount he gave. He didn't really give me that much money, right? I was sick, right? I was sick. Only thing I had was my phone, right? Only thing I had, because I was so sick that people couldn't really come in. The nurses and doctors come in all bundled up and covered up, right? He's a steer wrestler. It's not the amount, the small amount. That's what I'm going to tell you. It's the small amount. It was the time that it took for him to go through the process, to go to my GoFundMe account, to stop doing what he was doing, to send me that small amount of money. It was enough to my kid to eat. It was enough for, if I was eating, we could eat together. That's how small the amount was. And he has no idea that how big a fan I am. Him just stop doing what he's doing. The amount doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter to me, the amount. I've got a lot of people sending money. It doesn't matter the amount. He stopped what he was doing at that second, and he thought about me and my family. That's what he thought about, right? And he sent that small amount. But the time that it took him to click on it and go through all the rigmarole that most cowboys, it's hard for us to do, right?
Yeah.
We don't want to do it, but he did it.
That means
And
more
there's
than
not many
the amount.
cowboys was on that list. My number 2 cowboy in my heart, right? Trevor Brazile. We know his story, right? We know the fighter he is, right? People blessed his life. He's still struggling. He's gonna walk. I know he's gonna walk. He struggles. He falls off. He posts that.
Yeah.
He don't post that like there's people that probably chuckle that maybe not his fan. I'm his fan for life. The amount that he sent me was off the charts. You can't even imagine what that guy sent me as far as money. Like he said, the world and the cowboy way of life blessed me at my worst, and you're at your worst. And I know I'm going to walk again.
Yeah.
And because of all these people anteing up and doing this and doing that, and the guts and heart inside of him for sending me that when he's struggling in life and still struggling in life, but I know he's going to walk, and he knows he's going to walk.
Yeah.
He knows he's going to walk, right? The dude is my hero. I mean, he is my hero. He really is. Like, there's 3 people now. Cass just hopped right in on that bandwagon. And I have a lot of them, but there's just some that just pop out to me, right? It's the time that steer wrestler took out of his day just to send that amount, right? It's unreal. I mean, it's the thing. That's what fuels me now. Like, that's what fuels me to be better, to do better for people struggling. That's what fuels me to do all this. And then I'm already preparing. The 14th of next month, I've got another one of these this size for Quincy Kuklan. I mean, this whole magnitude all over again. Either ante up or shut up, man.
Yeah.
This is what these guys do.
Yes, sir.
They believe in what we do, and I believe in wearing them everywhere I go. I just like these my coffee patches here. Going back to my story, I quit drinking. I start living for God. I was like pulling God into my life again, like just really giving him the reins, right? 60, 90 days after quit drinking, still I'm like, man, God, I know you kept me here to be a dad. I know my kids couldn't go without me, right? I know you kept me here for that. Now just please tell me what else you kept me here for, right?
Yeah.
I'm out there on my knees that I'm not even supposed to be on, right? On the cement, on my back porch, the same spot I showered, the same spot I did this. I said, God, just show me something here, right? And I will run with it. 2 days later after that, I get a text from Jerry Nelson. And he's been behind me like years past, like bulls and this and that. And he reaches out to me. He said, man, I think we've got something in common. He said, I'm obsessed with bucking horses and bulls. You know that. I'm just obsessed with quarter horses and roping horses and all that. How healthy are you? Was the first question, And after that, really wasn't much. And this is all. This is nothing. This is nothing over the phone. This is simply text message. Like, dude sends me like a 2-page text, like breaking it down, what his goals are, what he wants, and what's mine. And then he said, I think we can make this happen. What do you need? I said, buddy, I'm at the worst of worst. I'm at the bottom of the bottom. I'm like on my knees 2 days ago, Jerry. 2 days ago, I'm on my knees on the cement. I can barely even get up off my knees, right? So I just asked God to send me somebody or send me a plan or send me a vision, and I will give it all I got. People ask me, y'all have any kind of contract or anything? Do y'all? I said, man, I think the guy knows, man, right? I think God told him, this is the guy you need right here.
Yeah.
This is the fourth quarter for me, right? Fourth quarter. I have messed up plenty, right? I'm 49 years old. I tell myself daily now that I have something to live for again.
Yeah.
I'm 29. I'm 39. You ask my students, we laugh about it. Don't call me sir. Call me Cody, right?
Yeah.
Call me Cody. When you come here and we get this relationship, I'm just Cody, man.
Yeah, there's an envelope over there that says Cody, not sir.
That's the last student that blessed my life that just left here. Like,
Yeah.
it's funny you bring that up. I mean, like, I have 2 girls in my life, like friends, like they know me. They know who I am under this shirt, right? That's who they know I am, right?
Yeah.
And we're just friends. That's it. They trust me with their life in the arena. That's who they want to be. They want to become a champion. They trust what I say, the way I train them. They pull in here, just like you guys did yesterday. You pulled in here. You own this place. Do not call me sir. I'm president of the Booster Club for 4 years, first name basis only, and that's the only way I wanted it, right?
Yeah.
I just want to be Cody.
Yeah.
I don't want to be world champion Cody. I don't want to be Cody of any other kind. I don't want to be sir of any kind. Like, my granddad, I won't call him sir, right? I don't want to be sir. I mean, I love the respect.
Yeah.
But once we become like this, like we're bonded, man. They believe in what we're doing. I believe in them. They
Yes.
bring me just as much joy in my heart as I do them. Some of them don't smile on the outside, right?
Right.
Half of these come here and they struggle inside. We overlook it. Ever since I've got God back in my life, like where he needs to be, right? Sometimes it's a simple text and that person will back, how did you know? I said, I didn't know, man. God told me to message you. Like there's people that I message on social media, like, you know, I'm at the bottom of the barrel right now and nobody knows. And how would you know? Like, I said, man, I don't know. God told me to message you. Like these two girls, like, I know their story. I know what they've struggled with now.
Yeah.
Their mom and dad. I've known some of their mom and dad my whole life. Like some I don't know from Adam. I know their mom and dad now, but like they struggle on the inside. You don't see it. They don't smile when they compete in my arena. And I'm like, that's the first thing I say, man, how did that feel? You know, and then here comes a smile, right? But I can see by their body language. I can see by their pride going back to the chute. I can see I'm making them smile on the inside, right? I'm giving them what they want that they're struggling with on the inside, just coaching them. That's all I'm doing, just coaching them.
Right.
And believing in them.
That you brought that up. I mean, that's something in the rodeo industry, the Western industry, that, you know, we've had a few guys that committed suicide. And something that we're bad about because we're cowboys and we're tough is we won't talk about what's going on in the inside. And I think that's something that, you know, if anybody's out here listening to this and they are struggling, man, if you reach out to either one of us or Cody or, I mean, we're going to be there and listening to you. And, I mean, I'm going to say that without even asking Cody. I mean, I know that he will, if somebody's texting him and says they're struggling, that he will be there for you. And, you know, we need to raise up and as Christians and as cowboys that, you know, we want to be tough and we need to be competitive. But if you're struggling with something on the inside, reach out to somebody and get help, because it's not just going to help, you know, hurt you. If you do that, it's going to hurt so many other people.
Well, the thing is too, we've all been through it, you know. We've all been almost in every same situation, and there's always, you can always relate to somebody somehow. You might not have had the same experience, but it's like, you know, with the benefit, like, you know what it was like to be laid up. You're not necessarily don't have any, you can feel your legs and whatever, like Caleb can't, and he's slowly coming back with, you know, miracles. But man, I mean, just asking somebody or just genuinely trying to show someone that you're interested in how they're actually doing, you know, because you could say, hey, how's it going? Oh, I'm good, you know, but it's like, no, man, like, how are you doing, you know?
And like I said, that's what the, you know, like I said, I can't do schools. I have a job to do, right? I'm paid, I'm an employee, right? I can give a 2-hour lesson, right? I go like hell, like 7 days a week, you know? I mean, like, I don't call it work on Sunday, right? Sundays, I just have fun, right? I just enjoy it. I mean, I enjoy all of it, but I still go. I still go. I'm 2 days ahead of everybody that only works 5 days a week, right?
Yes, sir.
I have a year of my life to gain back. But what I'm getting at is, back to you, is like, when they pull in this gate, I can see the ones that are struggling on the inside. You know what I mean? I spend enough time with them. I can see it, you know. You've got to reach out. I mean, this cowboy way, I mean, like, I fed off of it, like, on the inside. But then when I got depressed is when I couldn't compete anymore, you know what I mean? So I knew what that felt like. I've dealt with it. When my marriage was going south, my family was pulling apart, I dealt with it. You can call my ex-wife now. You can, a couple of these girls that struggle, they know me on the inside, right? I don't hide anything. Like, yeah, depression was kicking me. I mean, like, nothing to be ashamed of, man. The world deals with it, right? It's debt. It's this, it's that. It's struggle in a different way, you know, like any other sport. There's guaranteed money coming in all the time. I mean, they don't have that pressure. They don't have that weight of the outside of everything just eating you alive if you don't win, you know. And to be competitive, you don't like to let that out, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
it gets to a point, it's overwhelming. There's when I was at my worst, the very worst, you could call my ex-wife right now and she could tell you which trees I had planned to hit.
Yeah.
God honest truth. God honest truth. And one culvert, I mean, I'm telling you from right here, like everything. She could tell you. There's other people that could tell you.
Yeah.
People that I love that I've told that, like, I mean, that's, if I was to end it today, that's what I would do, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've got to get that out. You've got to trust that people got your back, right?
Yes.
Money is nothing, man.
No.
I've had no money. I've had all the money. I've had none of the money.
Mm-hmm.
You can't let that get you. I mean, girls, come on, man. Like, how many are born a day? Like, you're going to let one ruin your life? I mean, I'm not talking about marriage. I'm talking about girlfriend and boyfriends killing themselves over girls and vice versa, boys and, like, come on, man. You got to get that together. Like, there's somebody out there for you. And just because you thought that was perfect, man, there's somebody out there even more perfect for you. You know, like, you cannot let that, you cannot let that eat you alive.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been there through it all. I mean, any angle you can struggle, I've done.
Yes,
so
sir.
anything I say is something that I dealt with, and
Yes,
I'm
sir.
very vocal about what I gotta hide. I mean, you dissected me for 49 years. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I've been under a microscope for 49 years. Like,
That's right.
really, So I have no shame. I mean, I'm gonna share it all: the good, the bad, the ugly, the depressed,
Yeah.
the gold buckles, the kids, the helping others. Now, like, it's who I am, man. That's what I am under this thing. Like, a lot of 90% don't know it.
Well, something I've just been thinking about, like when you talk, you're very confident in yourself. I feel like nowadays, if you talk about yourself at all, you're being boastful or you're prideful or you're all about yourself or whatever. But it's like, you had not done that, having not done that back in the day, you wouldn't have turned out as amazing and as who you are today. It's not even the world champion in the arena. It's like who you are as Cody Ohl. And to me, like there might be people that listen to this like, man, it just seems like it's all about him or whatever. But at the end of the day, like, you can sit here and you can say, yes, I've been through all this stuff, but look at all these experiences and all these people that I'm helping out. And those are the people though, that needed to hear what you had to say. And what I believe is that each of us, we might go through an experience and it might not even be for us. You might have lived your whole life so that one person could hear something you said today to change their life forever.
If you change one person's life, that's one person that's not dead, right?
That's
one.
right.
Amen.
Is that not? I mean, that's
Yeah.
that's enough to do it, right? And I know how many lives I'm changing.
Yes,
I
sir.
do. I know that. I own the stage right now. I own it. It's not bragging.
Yeah.
I mean, Kid Rock's my theme song, right? And then what's his other song? It ain't bragging when you can back it up.
Mm-hmm.
I can pull these events off in 2 weeks, man. No sweat.
Yeah.
You know why? Because I freaking know I can.
Yeah.
I know I can beat you at any time. I know I can win at any time. I know I can mow the lawn better than you today. Because I tell myself I'm going to mow that grass better than you.
Yeah.
I'm going to mow it better than the guy I paid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't take it personal if I get on your ass when we're setting up this arena.
Right.
If it's not good enough for me, I'm going to get a little anal. So I'm going to run myself ragged because, I mean, whatever damn abbreviations there are for what I am, I don't know. Just call me whatever. But overachiever, maybe where I call it,
Yeah.
I take ultimate pride in putting those panels up. That T-post has to be the right height. The angle of the arena has to be the right height.
Mm-hmm.
Everything has to be perfect. And you don't have to be out there when it's 90. If I choose to be out there when it's 90, you can stay in the couch, you can clean stalls, you can do whatever you want. Don't take any of this personal if you don't want to be out here, because I'm going to do it with energy. I'm going to do it fast. I'm going to do it perfect, though.
Yeah.
Because I take pride in everything I do, just like putting on this event. It got nothing to do with me, other than it's not going to be a half-ass show when you get here. Even a Sunday afternoon jackpot.
Yeah.
It's music. It's this. It's that. It's preparing the kids for tomorrow, right? It's just pride in all you do, like the struggling. I mean, like, get pride.
Yeah.
depression. Like, get some pride in yourself. Be proud. When you look in the mirror, you got to be proud of something.
Yeah.
Not everything's going your way, but there's something in that mirror that you see that makes you proud. Something,
Right.
you know what
Yes,
I mean?
sir.
And that's where the keeps the depression from getting so overwhelming. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
That's it. I've dealt with it. I know what you're feeling, man. I know the girls that come. I 90% girls because the ones that come here want to be better. They're not wasting my time. They're wanting somebody to believe in them more or less than they are wanting anything else. That's, their dad don't give two craps about roping,
Right.
and this is their whole life. This is all they want to do.
Yes, sir.
But they just believe in themselves enough to get some help. And it's the same way. If you believe in yourself enough, get some help when you're depressed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Reach out. It's all. I get so emotional and I get off the subject, but my whole pie, right? It's the whole pie that makes it work. It's not the little small squares here and there. It's all of it. It might be judging. It might be setting the arena up. It might be driving. It's the whole pie.
Yes, sir.
It keeps the train on the right track. Okay.
Yeah, that's good. We just want to thank you for letting us come out to your house, and it's nice because when we got here, you was finishing up some stuff, and Blake, first thing he said make yourself at home, and that's one thing I feel like I've known you forever, and it's such a welcoming place to be, and we just thank you so much for letting us come out here and film the rodeo or the roping, and it was awesome to watch because I have been following your career since I was a little kid, and I watched when you was in the hospital and couldn't hardly walk, and it was awesome to watch a miracle yesterday.
Well, I appreciate it, man. Like, these are hard on me because, like, I see you guys, man. I like your passion for what you've got right here, what you're creating. Like, there's a lot of podcasts just all about that. That you want the best for everybody. You know what I mean? You're doing what's best for the person you're supporting. The whole story, right? You got emotion. I'm eat up with freaking emotion. Like, right? So y'all pull in yesterday to my home, and y'all weren't here an hour. And a couple of people I'm having to reach out to last minute. I'm like, man, I got the best crew here. You ain't gonna believe. This is gonna be awesome. Like, the live stream of this is gonna be awesome, and I had no idea, but I can feel y'all's passion for what y'all are doing. You know what I mean? We're all sitting here in different points, things that you struggle with your family and your family, and I struggle with my family. The things that hurt is when you get tears in your eyes, right? The things that mean the most to you is when you get tears in your eyes, right? And I tear up a lot because there's a lot of things that I'm passionate about. There's a lot of things you wish were better in your life, but you're doing all the right things, right? And I know what pushes your button because you tear up. I know what pushes your buttons because you tear up. And you know what pushes mine when you ask not the wrong question. I'm saying the question that you really get every ounce of me that you're wanting to get because this is what you do, right?
Yeah.
You want to know me from head to toe, inside and out. That's what the best about a podcast is. You know what I mean? It's not cussing. It's not bragging. It's not boasting. You want to know the story about somebody. And I'm willing to give it because I've seen it all, like over and over and over. I've told you this the whole episode. The whole pie, man. I'll share everything with you. The highs, the lows, the top of the mountain, and looking up underneath that baby. Like, I'm an open book. I've always been an open book. Now I'm an open book that I love to be judged. The book I have now, just judge that, right?
Yeah.
Just do the right thing. We can end it at that. Just do the right thing.
Yeah,
be the best parent, be the best person, be the best dad. Give the world all you got, man. And when you look in the mirror, just be proud of that.
Try to be a world champion in everything you do.
That's all I go at, man. I know I'm a world champion dad.
Yeah.
I know I'm a world champion in arena.
Yeah.
I try to be a world champion, all the kids that come through here. You know what I mean? I go about everything that I do with so much try and heart that I know I'm a world champion at it. I think I can drag the arena better than anybody. I think I can do this better than anybody. You know what I mean? Like, if it's muddy, I know I can dry my own arena. I know what to do. It's called effort. It's called pride. It's called a lot of hard work.
Yes, sir.
And I was just thankful that God blessed me with that little switch, you know.
Mhm.
Only a few people have that extra switch, and I know I got it. So
Yes,
I
sir.
love it.
I think just ending on what you said there, you know, like you wrote the book, but the people that go to read it to judge you after reading your book, at the very last, you know, the last couple words there, they would probably turn around and look at themselves, you know, and they'd be the ultimate judge of themselves after knowing what you've been through and what you've created for yourself. So, you know, I admire who you are as a person and your courage and everything. You exemplify a champion all around in life, whether it's, you know, for God, for rodeo, for the people around you, for your family, for us. I mean, you've taken your half your day today to sit down with us, and we appreciate that more than you ever know. And us coming out, you know, we don't know Caleb either, but we wanted to support you and what you're doing and everything. So we just are absolutely blessed. And I mean, you telling your story impacted me more than I ever thought I'd need. And same with Cody. And I guarantee you, everyone that's going to listen, I don't know. Yeah, I truly believe you've been through what you need to be through, you know, had to have gone through for someone else. And everybody.
He's got his perfect plan.
Yes, sir.
You just got to trust it.
That's right.
Got to stay to I call it trust the process, because he's taken me through it all, you know.
Yeah.
And until you trust it, will your life change, you know.
Yes, sir. Well, Cody, the way that we end our podcast is we always ask our guest what the first song that comes to their mind is, and then we all jam together. So what's the first song that comes to your mind?
Well, you know it's Kid Rock, man. That's like yesterday. My cousin's doing the sound, and I'm run this ninth calf because he hasn't played my song yet,
Yeah.
right? So it's not only what drives me like crazy, like you know, like my version has some Benji's mixed it up where it's got AC/DC in there with Cowboy, you know. So
Yeah.
like, but like, soon as he hit the switch, like everybody that's wanting to see that run knows that I'm going to even bring it more when that song.
I got cold chills when it came on.
Dude,
and
when
like everybody
yeah.
just goes to holler, and you know, the same deal at Vegas. Like he created that monster, you know what I mean? His
Yeah.
music and his twist on my song created a monster, you know what I mean? So like yesterday, it created those fans instant energy like that, and then it just brings me, because I want to be at my very best, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's what I was going to ask too, is Cowboy by Kid Rock, did you pick that song, or was it just happened?
Never did. Like Benji played it a couple times, you know, and then all of a sudden it, you know, he was all Bad Company rodeo. So like I went to all Bad Companies with Mac, and like it just got stuck in there. And then he started putting a little more twist in it, you know, and like adding to it. And the one I got on my phone's the one from Vegas, you know, and I put it in some of my posts too, you know, when I really want to.
Right.
When I really want to fire myself up,
Yeah.
you know, like, but it's you know, it's who I am. I mean, like that's what I'm known for, is that song, you
Right.
know?
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to play the first part of that, and then after that, you got to pick a song we can all sing together.
I don't know what that's gonna be.
All right, here it is. Cody Ohl's song.
Cowboy.
Cowboy. Cowboy.
Guys, it's that feeling right there, you know, when you just ride in that little 4-foot gate, man. And that song comes on, you're fixing to get the best of it.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Well, we appreciate y'all checking in, sticking around.
And listening to another episode of the Everything Rodeo podcast. We want to thank Cody once again for everything he did for Caleb, and for letting us come into his house and move the furniture around and turn it into a studio.
Yeah, we swept up all the dust bunnies for you, so.
Yeah, I appreciate
Or at
that.
least Blake, you
That's
don't have
twice
to say.
Cowboy Channel did it once, and you guys did it the second time, so I'm good for a couple months.
Yeah. Perfect. All righty.
Thank you.
You're welcome, man. Thank you.